In fact, let's quickly move on to this next piece of breaking news that we are getting on the broadcast. This is coming from Kerala, where the High Court in the state has directed the Popular Front of India General Secretary to deposit an amount of about 5.2 crore rupees with additional Chief Secretary in the Home Department. And this is because of the damages that are estimated by the state as well as the KSRTC as arising from the damage that was caused to public property. This during the Hartal call by the PFI members. So this is the latest that's coming out of Kerala. Remember, there was a Hartal call after the first phase of the NIA raids on PFI members across the country, across 13 states. Right after those raids, there was a Hartal call that was called in the state of Kerala, and there were violence that was emanated out of the Hartal. These visuals are also there from the 23rd of September itself. These are visuals from Kannur in Kerala. Now, the KSRTC is seeking damages to the tune of 5.2 crore rupees, which is being asked of the PFI. My colleague Manu Bharat now joins me on the broadcast. Manu, this is a development there that was pretty much in the offing because KSRTC had already sought damages considering the violence that came out of that Hartal that was organized by PFI members. Is there any response from the PFI director, the General Secretary, where this amount has been sought by the High Court now? Manu, if you can hear me? We don't seem to have Manu at the moment. We will try and reconnect, but this is the latest coming out of the Kerala High Court, I beg your pardon. And the High Court in the state has directed the PFI General Secretary, and that is to deposit an amount to the tune of 5.2 crore rupees. This needs to be done to the additional Chief Secretary of the Home Department in the state. And this is, of course, to the towards the damages that were estimated by the state as well as the KSRTC during the Hartal organized by PFI. Manu is back with me on the broadcast. Yes, Manu. Manu, there's a problem with your audio link. We will get you to fix that and then we will reconnect with you. This is the news that's coming out of the Kerala High Court, where PFI has been asked to pay for the damages that that the KSRTC buses really had to suffer from during the Hartal violence. The Hartal that was organized by the PFI after the first set of raids by the NIA that were part of this mega crackdown on PFI across the country. These are visuals from those very protest visuals from the Hartal that we were talking about. This Hartal, in fact, happened right after the first set of raids. So my colleague Pradeep Pillai also joins me on the broadcast at the moment. Pradeep, this is, announcement by the Kerala High Court. Of course, now the PFI would have to pay for the damages that the KSRTC buses really suffered from during the Hartal.
Very much so. As we had reported earlier, the KSRTC had approached the Kerala High Court seeking damages from Popular Front of India, who had originally called for the Hartal, and in which we saw widespread violence, and one of the main targets were the state-run KSRTC buses, the Kerala State Road Transport Corporation buses. The corporation lost about 70 buses were damaged. 11 of its staffers were injured. So very clearly it has approached the court saying that this is our loss and it needs to be paid. It should be paid by the Popular Front organization as they had called for this Hartal, and it caused all the death. Now this order also comes up, very significant order as far as Kerala is concerned, because the state is infamous for violent protests and Hartals, often even scouting and flouting the High Court rulings. Even in this Hartal, we saw the High Court order 3 years back saying that there needs to be at least a notice of 7 days before any Hartal is called. The court also very clearly said that if the amount is not deposited by the PFI General Secretary within 2 weeks, the state government shall have to take immediate steps to proceed against the assets and properties of PFI, attach it, and ensure that the personal assets of its office bearers also is attached, including the secretary and the damages paid to the KSRTC.
Pradeep, but isn't that already happening? The fact that the Kerala High Court has asked the General Secretary, in this case Abdul Sattar, to pay for this compensation that has been sought by the KSRTC. However, on the other hand, properties and bank accounts are frozen, properties are attached to the PFI members. Kind of a tricky situation for the Popular Front of India.
Absolutely. They now, as per the NIA action, cannot and are not free to utilize their funds. So, which is why the High Court has also said that if these properties are not available, you go on to attach personal properties of the office bearers. The action of the Popular Front inciting the supporters and goading them into violent acts cannot be legally countenanced, also said the Kerala High Court. Very significant verdict, very significant order. It's a lesson to all political parties in all such organizations which get into violent protests and, open out violent marches and attacks to prove a point. Now, very clearly, the High Court order is mentioning personal assets. So, as you said, very tricky situation. Either the property of PFI or the personal assets will have to, and the biggest trap is that without that, the orders on their bail petition will not be pronounced. So, you pay up and then we'll consider bail is a clear message from the High Court to the Popular Front of India and its leaders.
All right, Pradeep, thank you so much for joining us with all the latest development that's coming out of the Kerala High Court. We now